know, I see a lot of people complaining, moaning about prep, how it changes their personality. So I thought I'd show you how to make a really quick, easy smoothie bowl with 3 ingredients. So I've got my Joseph & Joseph scales, got my NutriBullet cup, any blender, any scales would be fine. First of all, I tear my scale so it goes to 0, and then what I'm going to do is just pile in about 150 to 200 grams of mango. $2.05. Got some vanilla protein. Love this stuff. For me, it just makes it real creamy and thick. And I'm going to put in 50 grams of whey. So that's 2 scoops. Come on. Light, low-fat coconut milk. And what I tend to do is about a 1-to-1 ratio of frozen fruit to milk. And you can use any milk, almond milk, skim milk. You could even do it with water if you want to be really cut back on the macros. And I'm going to just put in 175 to start with, give it a blend and then add more. The worst thing you can do is add too much liquid, because then you end up with just so much juice, and I like it thick so it comes out like a frozen yogurt type dessert. So now it's time to shake and blend. When you hear it get stuck, give it a good shake. That's when you know it's good. And that's the kind of consistency you want, just like frozen yogurt. All the mango's been blended up, sweet. So once your smoothie bowl is blended up and it's in your bowl, it's time to top it. So this is going back on the scales. Just like a kind of nut seed chocolate mix. And this is a 40-gram serving, I only need half of that. Got some Whittard's banana chips. $15 grams. A little bit of tropical mix. Not my prettiest one today, but that'll do. Pre-training. Good morning, it is the 12th of September. It's Monday morning and I'm 3 weeks out until my next competition. So last week I moved house, and doing that in prep is not easy. I'm going to tell you that now, so don't try it. But it was good, moved into a lovely new place. Teambox HQ is looking pretty sweet. Went to IKEA yesterday, got some furniture, some desks, gave myself a blister from all the screwing, and that was fun. So I've now got a nice desk to work from. The squad, oh, it's a fire engine. So the squad's here. We've got Laura and Dan. The matching outfits was just, it just happened, it wasn't planned. So yeah, how am I feeling this week? Pretty good. I'm in high spirits, although energy levels are pretty low. Training performance is going really, really well in the gym, so I'm looking forward to today's session. And we are doing a pool session today, aren't we, squad? Yeah. So, pool session today. I'll see if I can film something. I might not, depends if I'm bothered or not. So we're now off to a coffee shop, do some training programs, and then we need to start to plan the content, because I've been asked to speak at Leisure Industry Week, which is on the 20th and the 21st of September. So we're going to be there, we're going to have a stand. We've sent off all our images to the Printworks from our recent photo shoot with RGL Filmhouse, so we'll start to put some of those shots out on social media across our channel soon. So yeah, that's the next exciting thing to look forward to, is Leisure Industry Week. Macros this week, pretty low, lowest they've been in a while, but I'm just about hanging in there at the moment because I know I've got to dig deep and I just know I've got to get leaner. Right, I thought I'd take you through my back session. So I like to start off the session with a little bit of lat recruitment, so some unilateral work where I'm just going from one arm to the next, focusing on really, bringing my shoulder right down and getting into that shortened position and contracting my traps and my lats as hard as I possibly can, and then just into some double arm rows. Next I move on to some lat pull down, and at the minute the program's pretty much just looking like 4 sets of 8 reps, so I can keep the intensity pretty high, and just then over the next coming weeks focus on increasing the load. Once the load's kind of increased and maxed out over 4 weeks, then what I'll start to do is try and creep up volume slightly. I find it's sometimes easy just to creep up the volume a little bit rather than just trying to always creep up the weight on the bar, especially as I've only got such a short period of time now until the show.
Today's session's going really, really well. We've got loads of energy. Steve looks how I feel.
So after the lat pull down, we'll just go to some parallel grip rows, and I quite like the handle. I reduced the weight on this exercise actually just so I could really get a good stretch, and you can see me rounding my back in order to stretch my lats out. Then on to 4 sets of 8 on the dumbbell pullovers, and again, so this is actually a back exercise. What you want to do is push your shoulders right into the back of the pad and really focus on squeezing the lats through in order to actually move the load rather than it being on your pec. And then I just finish off my back exercise with some really good, again, high to low pull downs. I've never actually done this variation before in this particular way, and I actually felt a really, really good stretch and contract, and I'll keep that in for the next 12 weeks of my program.
Just getting the vegetables in. Yellow courgette.
So you pick what you want.
What do you think of a yellow courgette, Laura?
I think I'm really hungry, so if you could just pick what you want.
150 that is altogether, please.
Afternoon, so had my training session, the back session, that went pretty well actually. The session was really hard, not in terms of the load that was lifted, just to actually physically get through the session, it was difficult. So one thing I kind of wanted to talk about was that, I see a lot of people complaining and moaning about prep, how it changes their personality. But one thing you've always got to consider, when you are in prep, it can have an effect on your patience. You become a little bit more irritable, perhaps not shorter in temper, but you can be slightly more blunt with people. But it's you who has the decision to make the choice on how you act. You can't blame it on prep, because essentially you're still doing that. You chose to go into prep. So in my eyes, there's no excuse to actually blame prep. It's like blaming alcohol for your actions when you still choose to actually drink. So as I mentioned, sessions are getting pretty hard now. Limited carbohydrates, and the sessions do seem really tough. I'm finding myself having to sit down in between sets. I find it harder to motivate others that I train with now, so I'm kind of relying more on them to sort of motivate me through my sessions, or just kind of focus enough in my rest periods that I can actually get enough motivation to increase and maintain as much intensity as I possibly can while I am training. So that is always something to bear in mind, is that it is going to have a factor, and also the people that you train with. You're going to need them more as prep goes on. So I thought I'd give you an overview of what my competition year is looking like so far. So here we have the Welsh, which was the UK BFF Classic Bodybuilding Competition. Obviously we've passed this many days now, and this is kind of this week. So started the week off with a pull session, and that was a high calorie day. Then I went on to a push day with cardio, legs today, and cardio. Tomorrow I'm going to be resting, but I'm going to do some cardio, and then finally we're on an upper and then lower day, and then that'll be cardio complete for the week with 2 high days, one on my lower day and one on my Sunday. The reason why I have those back to back is just so I can start to refill, recover, ready for the week ahead. And then what I'll do each week is plan out what I'm going to do ready, because things may change as the week goes on. Then obviously we work up to the 30th, and then we have got literally 1 day until we're in peak week for the UK BFF British Finals, where I'm competing on the Sunday in classic bodybuilding, and then I go back into peak week the day after, ready for the IFBB Diamond Cup for fitness modelling. Now when we get into October, I will transport it to this lovely little thing, and we can count down the days as we go, and you can see kind of what's happening. So we've got the 9th, the UK BFF British Finals, and then the IFBB Diamond Cup fitness model competition. So not long, pretty much 2.5 weeks until the British Finals. It's go time. So today is Wednesday the 14th of September, and I've had a pretty decent week. Wednesday are my check-in days, so it actually works out pretty well to kind of give you guys a bit of a weekly update. Now in the last week, obviously I had the back end of my show, getting back into work after having the show and a few days off, and then I moved house, so that kind of consumed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of moving everything in, moving everything across from one place to the next, along with getting over to IKEA, buying some new furniture, making all that furniture up, yeah, and just kind of sorting out internet and everything else. So it's been quite a chaotic, stressful week. I've been doing a lot of extra walking. From where I live now in Bath is a little bit further into town, a little bit further to the gym. So my steps have certainly been up, along with kind of to and froing, back and forth, getting stuff that we need for the house. So apart from that, energy expenditure has certainly been on the up. However, I haven't quite seen the weight drop I wanted. Now I think primarily this is due to a little bit of extra probably water retention from a little bit of stress. This week as well, because obviously my tan has died away and slowly faded, it's like I've lost condition. However, now I'm kind of back to being one colour again, and I can start to see the vascularity come through the condition. So I'm actually in a really, really good place. I took some progress pictures today, and they're actually looking really, really good, so I'm pleased with how they've come out. So obviously with the move this week, things have been a little bit harder. I've certainly felt it. This week is the first week not only have the calories come down slightly to 200 carbs on a low day, along with 40 fats on a low day. Calories are at the lowest point during preps so far. Yeah, so this week's been pretty tough. I've really noticed that walking along, I'm a lot slower than I used to be walking. Just felt a lot hungrier. Gym sessions are becoming quite difficult. But yeah, it's all in all, I'm feeling a lot better today. Kind of back into my normal high spirits and high energy after kind of having a couple of low days. You know, just a little bit quieter. And a little bit less kind of patience than normal perhaps, but yeah, I'm feeling great today, so that's all good. Feels like recovery's back on track, sleep's getting there now. That was the other thing as well. I was waiting for my mattress to arrive for 2 days, so I was kind of sleeping on the floor for 2 days. That certainly didn't help recovery or my energy levels, but yeah, we seem to be on a good track now. Looking forward to the week ahead. This week as well, what I've done is I've actually planned out my meals, because work's really busy, it's really kicking off at the moment. We've just launched our call to action to take on clients, so it's quite a big busy time for us at the moment, along with I'm speaking at Leisure Industry Week next week, so hopefully I'll do a little bit of filming while I'm there, and I'll include that into these videos. So yeah, work's busy, so I thought if I just set myself out some meals that I like, I know I can just make those, I know how to make them, they take 5 minutes to prep, make, cook, and then eat, so I don't really need to think about it too much. I know it's going to hit my macronutrient profiles pretty much spot on, and then at the weekends I can probably eat out a little bit, or eat a little bit more volume of those meals just to add in those extra carbohydrates that I get to make me recover. But all in all, good week. Today was leg day and hard. We did a 8 o'clock an earlier morning session than usual. Normally we train about midday, but it was kind of a more machine hack squat based session today, so that was okay. Tomorrow's a rest day, that'll be nice. And then Friday, Saturday is going to be an upper then lower split day. So hopefully I'll get some more filming done and then we can get that across next week. But all in all, good week, good progress made, conditions coming in, and hopefully this week we'll see a nice little drop on the scales to conclude a really, really good week.